This is a slide of the thin versus the thick skin. Comparing the two, we have the epidermis on both, and then the dermis layer. Remember, the top of the dermis layer is considered the papillary layer, and then the bottom is the reticular. You can see the dermal papilla, the bumps going up, and the epidermal ridges coming down, and you can see the different layers of the epidermis. Starting with the very bottom layer, and you want to look and see where it's pointing. Right down here at this bottom layer is the stratum basale. Then this area is stratum spinuosum. Then we have the grainy layer, the stratum granulosum, which has the stratum lucidum, the white layer on top. And then we have the stratum corneum. This is the thick skin. Thick has 5 letters. This has 5 layers. With the thin skin, again, you got to look at what the arrow's pointing to and how I word the question. If I say the bottom layer of cells, I'm looking for the stratum basale. I'm pointing right to the very bottom. Then we have the stratum spinuosum, then the stratum granulosum, and then you see the dead flaking stratum corneum. Now, with the next cell we have, yes, pictures of, this is the slide of the scalp. This is hairy skin. So on this, you can still see the epidermis and the dermis, but I wanted to point out the sebaceous glands. Now here's the hair follicle, and the sebaceous glands are going to be filled with adipocytes, and those are fat cells, so they're going to look like white puffy clouds associated with the hair follicle. And also we have over here the darker eccrine, or sudoriferous gland, which is the sweat gland. Look at other pictures to see that, and it's kind of coiled, and you can look in your lab book for some other photos of it. Then the last slide that we have to look at is the hairy scalp again, but we're looking at the hair follicle. Here is the hair follicle itself. This is the shaft at the top, the root would be at the bottom. It starts down here with the hair papilla, the bump underneath it. That will give rise to, in the center of the hair, will be the medulla, and on the outskirts it's the cortex, and right on top of the papilla there is one layer of cells called the matrix. Hair matrix is the material that the hair will be produced from. So as it starts to grow, here's a less magnified, you see the bulb, you have the hair root, and then above would be the shaft, and in the very center of the hair is the cortex, is the medulla. Then we have on either side is the cortex. We then have, we don't have a nice cuticle on this slide, but we have the 3 layers of the root sheath covering. We have the internal root sheath, the external root sheath, and we have the glassy membrane, which is the outermost of the tissue.